right, 6 o'clock. Time to put on Blueprint. See what this is all about.
Dan Morgan has been cooking so far.
He has been locked, loaded, and focused on this draft. Other people, what up? I'm going to say it right now. Dan Morgan not only is a great linebacker, but could be the best general manager this team has had. Good on you, watch your Panthers Post. Thanks for joining. Yep, that was me. Can't believe it. I still can't believe it. On the Panthers YouTube channel, Blueprint, taking us behind the scenes of the draft process. Not just how they got Tedro McMillan, but how they got Nick Scorton, how they got Etienne, how they got Mitchell Evans, everybody. All that stuff. I don't know how many other teams are doing that. That kind of access for fans. Take us literally behind the scenes, going way back. They documented everything. I loved seeing the meetings in the combine with Nalo, with Cam Jackson, who I gotta say, he's a dog. I love everything that he said in that interview. I'm gonna break down the episode and who I thought stood out, not just Dan Morgan, but other people as well. One guy who really did surprise me, but a little bit more on that. Stay tuned. But I loved it. Just the access gained, and it wasn't just fans that appreciated it as well. You saw, those in the draft community, whether it's Josh Norris, whether it's guys from NFL Stock Exchange, they got shown love in this video. And the one thing that really stood out to me, and it's not just because I was involved in some capacity for like 3 seconds, I'm actually surprised it was that long, is that the Panthers included I don't think they included any in-house media. I don't think they had a niche. I don't think they had their in-house reporters. Nobody. I didn't see Jake Delhomme talk. I didn't see Luke Kuechly talk. No, they had us, this community, this content creator community, our audience as well, the people who have been tuning into us, giving us great numbers in the off season, whether it's myself, What's Up Doug, PNP, Real Ball Watcher, like all these guys, including yours truly, included in this. And not just us, but, other guys who work in Raleigh, up in the ESPN station there. It just, number one, it shows that these guys aren't dumb. They know their audience is a young one. Like, this is one of the youngest franchises in the league. Came out in 1995. It's less than, it's 30 years old on the nose. And this is not the Packers. This is not the Bears. This is not the Cowboys. This is not, I don't know, name a team. Heck, even the Seahawks have been here for a good amount of time. They get talked about enough. The Giants, the Jets, they get talked about enough, almost too much on the national media. And because they're legacy franchise, because they're blue chip franchises, the Panthers don't get that love because they just haven't, unfortunately, despite the fact going to 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, they just haven't reached that market. And they will. I guarantee you they will, because the fans that grew up watching them in 1995 are now my age or a little bit younger, and they're starting to take the shots. They're starting to get into broadcasting. And if they're not getting into broadcasting, they're getting into YouTube and content creating. And this is where Panthers fans are getting their Panthers information. They're not getting it on Get Up. They're not getting on NFL Network on a daily or weekly basis. You're just not. Like, nobody on NFL Network is talking about the Carolina Panthers for 10, 15, 20 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours live streaming Panther games, watch-alongs. That's just not happening. And they're getting it from guys like me, from guys like PNP. They're getting the draft breakdowns from guys like What's Up Doug and Real Ball Watcher and Aaron on Necessary Bluntness. You're getting that from us. And I think because our fan base is just naturally younger, just by the way the team came up, I think the Panthers recognize that. And when they reached out to me, side note, absolutely crazy, that they told me that the external voices outside of Bank of America Stadium mean something to them. And they wanted to exemplify that. They wanted to show that as an example. And they wanted to, and not only that, they asked us for permission. It's YouTube. They can totally take my stuff. They can put it on there. What are they going to do? Demonetize the Carolina Panthers, $1 billion organization. What are they going to do? No, they reached out to me as they did everybody else. And they asked permission to use my content and put it up there. And obviously they didn't pay me. Wish they did. Even in tickets or merch. They didn't. It's fine. But they gave me a courtesy. And they put my first and last name. They didn't just put Panthers Post. They put my first and last name. So if you watched Blueprint and you saw that and you were like, hey, why does Tedro McMillan have a YouTube channel? And you looked up, oh, it's actually not. It's Phil Perkins. And then you joined in. What's up? I'm Phil. I'm in Canada, actually. That's not just outside voice, outside the country voices. And it shows that they really do have the pulse of their fan base. Their fan base is younger. Obviously, there's older ones, but My demographics, according to YouTube Studio, says that is a younger audience, and they are tuning to YouTube to us because we're not getting the representation on the national networks. And so this is where they get their fix. Panthers understand that. Give us some voices. Give us some, being real, credibility that the Panthers chose us to put us up there to represent us. The Panthers see our stuff like, hey, okay, I'm going to put their stuff out there. It just shows that they're not that out of touch. And you have a multi-billion-dollar owner rocking loafers with no socks, crossing his legs during draft meetings. You would think he's completely out of touch with the regular fan, but clearly they're not. And the guy who is running he's their executive producer with their content, with in-house, with the Carolina Panthers. I'm pretty sure he's British. And if you ever watch European football, soccer, teams aren't just teams for like the state, the city. It's like for a neighborhood. Now imagine Southend had an NFL team and then Noda had an NFL team. Like that would be ingrained in your community, in your life, and everyday business. It is a part of your blood and it is part of the community in more ways than one. Like it's in your psyche, it's in everything. It's a religion. And it seems like that this executive producer really wanted to put that out there that the Panthers are tied to the community, not just in Charlotte, but abroad as well. Because a lot of these guys, they're not even in Charlotte. They're outside of that, including yours truly. So I thought it was very nice. I thought it was awesome. On my personal self, seeing an email from the Panthers organization with the emblem on the bottom of the email was just absolutely wild. I'll be forthright with you guys. After I gave them permission to use my content, I went ahead and I tried to do a little pitch. I was like, hey, you're showing us love right now. Let's take the fans even deeper, a step further, and have us over to Bank of America Stadium during a game day. Have us in the practice game day before, meetings, talking to players, showing us, people who aren't from the Carolinas, from America, what it's like on a game day, what it's like in the suites, what it's like down, in the worst seat, the best seat, the tailgate, all that stuff. Roaring Riot. Now that I know that they're in tune with what the fans, at least I think, what the fans are thinking, what they watch, what they consume, I think that'd be a good idea. They did not respond. They completely ignored it. Said thanks so much. I'm like, all right, but you never know. You never know. I think it'd be cool. Either way, if you saw it, super cool, super honored, and of course they had merch 20% off the same day that Blueprint came out, and I had to clench my wallet pretty tight. Got 2 kids now. Let's talk about Blueprint now. The actual episode itself. Let's talk about Brant Tillis. This guy came out of nowhere. I know he's a smart guy. I know he's highly coveted, but there's something about him that he brings to this team, especially during draft day. All I can think about that he's one of us. He never played professional football. I don't even think he played college football. He's obviously smarter than me when it comes to numbers and money and all that stuff, but just the way he talks, obviously he's very smart, but he just sounds like the guys that we see on Twitter, the armchair GMs, be like, I would have done that. I think we got to build the defense now after we got Tetro McMillan at 8. We got to double dip on edge. Like, how many times have we seen that on X, on TikTok, on YouTube channels? This is what they got to do. And like, he spoke like us. He talks kind of like a nerd, kind of like a draft nerd, guy who watches, all 22 film. That's what it strikes me. And then the way he talks to Dan Morgan, he is not intimidated by him whatsoever. They can make, like, forget the buddy cop movie with Dave Canals and Dan Morgan. I want that prototypical 1980s Dan Morgan's the all-star linebacker on the team. Brant Tillis is the nerd. Buddy's not going to get that full scholarship at the University of Miami as a linebacker unless he gets his grades right. They pick up Brant Tillis. Brant Tillis starts coaching him up, tutoring him up. It's kind of a bullying situation there. They're not really friends, but then eventually they kind of connect and they actually realize that, they got a lot more in common than they thought. They both love football, but one loves playing football. One loves talking about football. Then they end up working together in high school. And then down the line, they're working in the NFL together. I don't know. Did I just make a script? I think I just did. But that's the way he strikes me as a really smart guy. And as Dan Morgan said in the episode, he doesn't want to be surrounded by yes men. He wants to be surrounded by guys who would put him in his place because they have, really successful people put smart people around them. And Brant Tillis is a smart guy. He would tell Dan Morgan, this is too much. This is not enough. We need to hit at least this if we're going to make this big trade. And then after, hey, we missed out on that trade, we can make a couple more if we want to get our guys. And then it's up to then Dan Morgan who pulls the trigger. And man, is that a quick trigger. Let's talk about Dan Morgan. I've said it before that he GMs the way he plays linebacker, and they mentioned that. They echoed that in this episode. At least Brant Tillis said, He scans the line, he finds the gap, and he just goes for it. You can't hesitate. If you have who was a running back in the day against Dan Morgan? Eddie George. If you have Eddie George popping through the hole, you cannot hesitate. You got to attack and nail him. And that's the way he does. When literally, if you rewatch it, if you see Dan Morgan, Esperant tells, is the trade done? It is. We're not doing it. Turns around, Tet. That quick. It was like, this is Dan Morgan. Is a trade happening? No. Tet. That quick. Almost like saying, run, gap, hit. That's just the way he is. He's emotional, but when he is convicted, he talks about that. He talks about guys that he's convicted of for he attacks. I believe in this guy, get him. I'm not second guessing. I love him, getting him. That's what he felt about Tetsuroa. That's how he felt about double dipping at edge. That's how he felt about, really how he felt about Travis Etienne. He was really like, this guy's the guy. It gives me confidence that they're making the right decision. And so Dan Morgan keeps attacking like this, and this draft class actually gets even like 80% of the A+ grades that they're getting right now from all the draft analysts out there, the guys who want to be Brant Tillis one day. I'm saying it right now, he'll be one of the best GMs in Panthers history if they get as far as we think they could. Maybe not this year, but down the line. The foundation started last year, but this year he really started to mess around and starting to do things. As I said in the episode, he started to cook, especially because he's got Bryce Young, who, by the way, has a beard now. Did he go to Korea? Did he go to Turkey? Did he figure something out? Anyways, that looks good. He looks good. Dan Morgan looks great. Wah. Gotta talk about Dave Canals. He didn't really appear too much in this. This was mainly a Brant Tillis, Dan Morgan episode. It seems like Dave Canals lets him know the kind of player he wants, and then the scouts, and then Dan, and then Brant give it to him. And then Dave Canals makes it feel like home. Whether he's giving Tetsuroa the Carson lay while he's getting the Hawaiian one, he just makes people feel at home. And he seems to be just so thoughtful, not because he's a young guy, of the younger players, the way he talks to them, but I know he can switch it from being young Pete Carroll 2.0 to disciplinarian. And that's it, really. I just think I'm looking forward to see how he coaches. I want to see him get mad a little bit. Or maybe he doesn't. I have no idea. Let's talk about Dave Tepper. He's been put over the coals multiple times. But yeah, he was in the front row of the draft. But again, he's just like, I just got to say it. I don't know why they always have to include this segment where everybody, Brant, Dan, Dave Canals, why do they have to talk about Dave Tepper being such a great owner? He's a great sounding board. He's a genius at trade. You know, he trades for a living. That's how he made his billions of dollars. You know, he's a great guy to talk to. He's still not a football guy. He's the guy who writes the checks, and they run things by him. You're like, yeah. Like when Dan Morgan's asking me, what if we double dip on edge? Oh, you see that? You see how we had that, pick that Etienne out of Georgia? Now look at it. Looks like a good thing we did it because now there's a running back. He's like, okay, cool. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to. You answer to him if he says, yeah, pay that guy, don't pay that guy. But like, why are we listening to him giving a lowdown on football? And I know it's, according to many reporters, Sheena Quick in particular, that Dave Tepper is taking a step back. He's letting the football guys do football things. So maybe, this is almost like, it's like a treat for him. It's fun. Like, he's pretty chill. Again, no socks, loafers, blazer, looking great, looking cool. Looks like he just got off the golf course, put on a sport coat. He just kind of wants to learn. I guess that's what makes him a billionaire. He wants to learn. He wants to know how these guys cook. So maybe he can teach them how to be billionaires. But either way, I thought he came out fine. He didn't come out bombastic and telling these guys, he wasn't directing them anything. It seems like, if anything, they were just kind of letting him know, hey, this is your baby. You really want to win. This is the direction we're going. And he was like, sure. Didn't see him fight back. I don't know who would want to fight back against either of those guys. Maybe he could take Brant Tillis, but I thought it was fine. There were just a couple things I'd tweak, but still, great product. Social media, he's paying for it, so he's doing something good. As for the draft pick themselves, obviously the star was Tetsuroa McMillan. The enthusiasm, I hope that never ends. He seems like a guy who's just, like, there's California cool, and then that's kind of the knock I had a little bit on Bryce and the way he operated, and CJ Stroud. But the way he operates, he's got that warrior mentality, but he's doing it with a smile on your face. And I can't believe I never thought about this until now. He's Hines Ward. He is smiling at the line of scrimmage. He is smiling when he has the ball in his hands. He is smiling in the locker room. He's smiling during walkthroughs. He's Hines Ward. Hines Ward could get knocked out by Ray Lewis, stand up and smile. That was one of the main reasons why I loved him, not just because he's half Korean. But I love that. He had joy in the game. And if Teteroa McMillan can do that throughout his career and get wins and do great things, have that Cali connection, be something different, then we got something very special with this team. Anyways, watch the episode. Check your boy out. If you're new here, like, subscribe, welcome, spread the word. I'll see you guys soon.